How's it going, everyone? The second phase of the PlayStation Store's spring sale has kicked off, and there are a lot of great deals, a lot of deals under the price of $5, so we are back once again to look at some of the great deals. Right off the top, let's cover a deal that I think is absolutely insane. If this game is not in your library at this price, this is a ridiculously good deal, and that is Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition. It is 90% off for $3.99. I think we recently talked about this game being down to like $5.99 or something. Look, we cover so many games that sometimes I forget about these things, but $3.99 for Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it's the Royal Edition, so you got all of the DLC content. Guys, this is a stupid good deal. We talked about like Burnout Paradise being a great deal for whatever it was, like $1.99. KCD at that level in terms of this price point. $3.99 for the Royal Edition with all the DLC content is ridiculous. It's not an RPG that I think everyone will enjoy. It does lean on the historical elements and more of the realistic elements that the game has going for it, but I still think it's very much a game worthwhile to play. The story is pretty good, gameplay solid, albeit again a little bit clunky at times, but overall for this price point, I mean, this is just a bargain given all the content that you're getting and how many hours you can sink into it. Again, $3.99, a steal for that, and probably like among the absolute best deals that's a part of this sale, so certainly check that out. Next up, we got Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition, 85% off for $4.49. Look, Sleeping Dogs is a game that I recommend ad nauseum. I've heard some things about this game running on PlayStation 5 having some issues. I haven't tried playing the game on PS5, so my apologies if that's the case, but nonetheless, dig out the PS4 if you need to play Sleeping Dogs, because it's a tremendous, tremendous game. It's one of those games that I feel like now that we're like a decade plus removed from the game actually coming out, like now this is one of those games that over the years has built up that cult following, and now people are like, man, Sleeping Dogs was such a great game. Man, Sleeping Dogs deserves a sequel. And sometimes that happens with games, like over the course of 6, 7, 8, 10 years, it'll develop that following, and sometimes it'll develop the following so strongly that it spawns a sequel. That happened with Dragon's Dogma. I don't think it's gonna happen with Sleeping Dogs, but I do think Sleeping Dogs 1 is a damn good game that's very much worthwhile playing. $4.49, again, a fantastic deal for that. Next up, we got Castle Crashers Remastered. If you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, $2.99. Castle Crashers is one of those games that I will always recommend. It's just a fantastic co-op experience, and you know what? Some people push back on me whenever I say that this is a game designed for co-op play and you shouldn't play it solo. Hey, some people say that Castle Crashers is an enjoyable game solo as well. I just feel like this game shines as a co-op experience, and when I played it way back when it initially came out on 360, I was like, man, this is a game that's an awesome co-op experience, and I feel like that holds true today, all these years later. I feel like it's been like 13, 14 years since this game has initially came out, and it still holds up as a solid co-op experience. Look, if you enjoy beat-em-ups and you enjoy the cartoony art style, you'll probably still have a kick out of it as a solo experience, but I just think as a co-op title and a co-op beat-em-up, it is just such a fantastic game, and for $2.99, a great pickup, easy recommendation there. Next up, Need for Speed Heat, 95% off for $2.99. Look, this game has been discounted quite often to $2.99, and it seems like that spawned a lot of people in wanting to check the game out. Anecdotally speaking, and I talked about this in a previous video, the amount of people that I've randomly seen play Need for Speed Heat over the past couple of months has been kind of wild. I'm not saying my friends list is flooded with people playing NFS Heat, but it's way more people than I would expect playing an old Need for Speed game. That's what I'm saying. Need for Speed Heat, when did this game come out? 2019. So it's 5 years, 4.5 years old at this point. It came out fall of 2019. And randomly, the price gets slashed this low. It's not like there have been significant updates over the last few months. I think it just got super cheap and people were like, bro, $3 for Need for Speed? I'll check it out. And Need for Speed Heat, guess what? It's a well-made arcade racer. Need for Speed is in this weird area where I feel like inconsistency really hurts it, where sometimes Need for Speed still puts out high quality and high level games. However, it is so inconsistent where you'll get like a Need for Speed 2015 and then you'll get a good Need for Speed game, and it's just so all over the place. And what is the most powerful thing a franchise like this can have? It's consistency. It's dropping a good game after a good game, and it just seems like with Need for Speed, you'll get a good game, and then you'll get a game that's maybe a little divisive, then you'll get a bad game, then you'll get a good game. It's just all over the place, and Unbound was more of a divisive game. NFS Heat, $2.99. I think it's a great price. If you're into arcade racers, you're going to enjoy it. Soundtrack's great, visuals are great, you know, just aesthetically the game's quite pleasing, and for $2.99, again, a bargain there. Next up, we got Dragon's Crown Pro. 80% off for $3.99. You guys know me, I love me some Vanillaware. I think Vanillaware is one of the most underrated studios in gaming history. Yes, maybe you'll see that being a little bit of a hyperbolic statement, but I think, you know, Vanillaware, for their consistency level, they are just top-notch. However, let's slow down on the glazing a little bit. I do think Dragon's Crown Pro is their weakest game. Dragon's Crown is their weakest game that they've put out, but that's not really saying much just because I think so highly of Odin Sphere, I think so highly of Muramasa, 13 Sentinels, and most recently Unicorn Overlord, that Dragon's Crown still holds true from the aesthetic, soundtrack, and presentation standpoint, but fundamentally and gameplay-wise, I don't think it's as strong as some of the other games and narratively, but for $3.99, I mean, this is still a bargain that I would strongly recommend, so definitely check that out for this price point, and I know I crapped on it more than actually talking it up, but $4 is still a fantastic price for that. Next up, Fallout 4, 75% off for $4.99. Now, this is the base game. They're rolling out a bunch of free updates with the game, and most notably, a free PlayStation 5 upgrade. I want to mention this game because we've seen in the past that a free upgrade comes out for a game like a Witcher 3, and then it'll appreciate the discounted price point of that game. I don't know if that's going to happen with Fallout 4, but thought it would be worthwhile to mention Fallout 4 anyway. The Game of the Year edition, unfortunately, not on sale right now, so take that for what you will, but base game for $4.99, still a good price point, but at this point, obviously, you can buy the game right now. Don't be playing the game until the upgrade actually drops, because I think that's when the game is going to be worthwhile to go through. Why jump into it now? I mean, if you have a PS5 and you're picking up Fallout 4, just wait a couple weeks. It's April 25th, I believe, for the free upgrade, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. Next up, Shenmue I II, 85% off for $4.49. Now, these are two of the most iconic games, especially Shenmue 1, when they came out. Imperative on when they came out, because Shenmue 1 was very much ahead of its time when it came out on the original Dreamcast. However, these games show their age. Shenmue 1 shows their age from a gameplay standpoint, how it's designed. It's just, these are dated experiences, but they are so iconic, and narratively, I think they're compelling enough for it to be worthwhile to check them out. And you're paying $4.49, $2 and change for each of the titles. Don't think that's a bad pickup, and I would say still give it a look, even with it being pretty dated at this point. Next up, Little Nightmares, 75% off for $4.99. A incredibly compelling survival horror game that really shines in terms of being an eerie game. Now, I'm not saying all of you guys are looking for something that's super eerie, but if you are, Little Nightmares definitely invokes that atmosphere that I think is so powerful in horror games. In terms of, if you want a horror game to accentuate that horror element, you need to have an engrossing atmosphere, and you need to have a little bit of that eerie vibe. Horror games can present themselves in a different way. Eerie is the way I feel Little Nightmares goes, and it does it pretty damn well. Little Nightmares 2 is great as well. Little Nightmares 3 in development right now. A franchise that's kind of low-key popping off from Bandai Namco and Tarsier Studios, so good for them. Next up, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, 75% off for $4.99. Now, truth be told, this isn't the cheapest discount we've had for this game, or the deepest discount. I believe it's been down to as low as $1.99, so paying $4.99, I was actually a little bit on the fence on whether or not I should mention it, but $5 is still a good price for it. I think Mirror's Edge Catalyst is super underrated. I think a lot of us, myself included, went into the release of the game with very high expectations, given how underrated I think we thought Mirror's Edge 1 was and how much of a cult classic that game became. Catalyst, over the few years, not as much as the original, but has kind of become a game with a cult following as well. I've talked it up, and a lot of you guys I see in the comment section be like, yeah, Mirror's Edge Catalyst gets a bad rap. It's not a game worth $60, but for $4.99, man, visually it looks great. I still feel like the gameplay is pretty solid, and overall, for $5, again, pretty solid pickup. And then lastly, another EA title, we got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the Deluxe Edition. We mentioned the Standard Edition of the game. Now, the Deluxe Edition doesn't include anything that crazy, but it's still under $5. Crimson BD1 skin, Crimson Mantis skin, digital art book, and director's cut behind-the-scenes videos featuring over 90 minutes of footage from the making of the game. I always like the director's cut footage. In terms of behind-the-scenes and dev commentary, I always get a little bit into stuff like that. I'm not saying, you know, spend an extra $20 for that type of content, but just baked into a Deluxe Edition, sure. That's content that I'll have a look at. You got some cosmetics. Jedi Fallen Order is a great game, runs really well on the PS5. The map is an absolute atrocity, I should say. But overall, the game is still really good. Love Cal as a character, and Jedi Survivor was one of my favorite games of 2023, so you're damn right I'm gonna mention Jedi Fallen Order when it's on sale. While not as good as Survivor, I still think it's a damn good game in its own right. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals under the price of $5 right now. Check out the description box down below for links to all of these deals. Some great stuff all around, and sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.